Everyone, welcome to Free Henley Media U. My name's Cece. Thank you for coming by and visiting me here in Montana. Real quick, I got some happy mail from Mara from Mindfully Crocheted. I have no idea what's in here, so let's pull it out. If I seem tired, it's because I am, you guys. I'm tired. I didn't sleep good last night. Oh, right, this is kind of cool. It's like a card. Hey, there's Bend, Oregon. It's got the state of Oregon and the cities that are in it. There we go. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. And they're little stitch markers. And they have hearts. One has a heart with an infinity sign around it, and the other one's a heart. Wait, this way. Very neat. Thank you so much for those. Those are so cute. And here's another one. These are adorable, Mara. Thank you. And these ones are gold. It's the same thing, heart with this infinity sign, and the other one's a heart on a Bend, Oregon playing card. Isn't that neat? Those are so cool. Thank you so much. And that was so thoughtful. It was so thoughtful of you, Mara. I love them, and I will definitely use them for sure. Those are adorable. Let's see, what is this? It's a sunflower card. Look, how cute. Isn't that beautiful? I love sunflowers. Oop, and stickers. These are really neat. Look, the sloth. Her favorite animal is a sloth. It's so funny because that's my youngest daughter's favorite animal is a sloth. And this says Mindfully Crocheted. They're like little scrapbook thingies. Not stickers. They're like scrapbook thingies. Or maybe they are stickers. No, they might be stickers. No, they're stickers. That one says love. With a crochet hook and a yarn. Very cool. And then there's some foamies. Sloth. It's so cute. These are adorable. And here's an alpaca or a llama. Probably an alpaca. And here's a unicorn. The unicorn. just a little something because when I made these, I thought of you. Sending much love your way. Mara, Mindfully Crocheted. Thank you, Mara. That was very, very sweet. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And the Winnie the Pooh stickers were like epic. I love Winnie the Pooh. I have the memorable 100 anniversary Winnie the Pooh book that Barnes & Noble sold way long ago. So it's very cool. Sorry guys, my allergies are going nuts, but I will definitely use these. So I wanted to discuss something with you guys. I did finally make it to church today. I did make it to the church my first Sunday back because I had to teach Sunday school, and then I missed Sunday school last week. I just wasn't feeling up to being around people, and frankly I didn't feel like I did not feel like being around people today either, but I made myself go, and I'm glad I made myself go because I need to go. Church family is important. So I've been having a difficult time. I'm dealing with insomnia a lot. I've been having a difficult time with some of my autism behaviors. I've been chewing on my nails, and I'm stemming a lot more than I normally do, and I'm not sleeping, and I know it's because of the passing of my father. I know it's part of grief that I'm going through. I watched a lot of videos on autism and grief, and autism and losing a loved one or something that's important to you, because one of the traits of autism is when you lose something that you find valuable. It could be a special interest. It could be something you collected, like maybe you collect books or coins or keychains or hats or dolls, and all of a sudden you have to give those up or give those away, or something happens and you lose it, like maybe a natural disaster or whatever. A lot of autistics actually grieve as if it's a person. They grieve that loss. And so these are the kind of things I found out. I watched a video from Orion Kelly, which was very informative. So I don't think Orion will ever see this video, but if he ever does, thank you for doing that video, because I was kind of lost. I've been lost since I got home. And not really understanding what was going on with me mentally. Like I couldn't articulate how I was feeling. I haven't cried since I got home. The loss of my father. I had a pretty bad moment at the funeral. I was hyperventilating. I had to leave the funeral home and get some fresh air because I started hyperventilating because I was crying so hard. But I haven't cried since I've been home. And but I'm showing my grief in other ways. It's hard to describe what you're feeling when you don't understand it yourself, you know what I mean? And some of my quirky behaviors, if you will, are intensified right now because I have things going on that I can't, I'm having a hard time processing everything. And so I just wanted to talk about it because I haven't done an autism educational video in a really long time based off my experience. And this is deeply personal, and I debated on whether I was even going to do this video. That's why it's taken me so long to do this video. So one of the things that autistics go through, and definitely myself, is I have a lot of sensory issues, okay? And so things like taking a shower grosses me out. I mean, if I had my way, my hair would be short, because I hate loose hair. I hate hair coming out of your head. I hate hair being on the shower walls. The shower is a sensory nightmare for me. And so I have to force myself to take showers because that's what socially is expected of you. And you need to stay clean for your health. And so it's already hard enough to force myself to do that. And then losing my dad, and being in a weird sort of state of lostness, just feeling lost. Some of my struggles have intensified and has been making it even that much harder. So, for instance, the hygiene thing. When I first got back, I didn't shower all week after I got back into the next week, and I finally was able to get myself to get in the shower. I barely was waking up and barely getting my son to school and barely getting myself to work. It was all I can do to do those three things. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, behaviors. So I have sensory issues with it when it comes to stuff like that. And so sleep, I already struggle with insomnia. I'm severely ADHD, so my brain won't shut up and be quiet. And then my autism, if I have a thought in my head, I can't get that thought out. And some people say that's OCD behavior as well. There's a lot of different diagnoses that kind of cross each other, like ADHD, autism, OCD, bipolarism. A lot of them have some of the same traits. Anyway, and so my insomnia has been a lot worse since I got home. And I'm really tired. I haven't slept well in 2 weeks. So the fact that I was actually able to get up and actually go to church today was a miracle, because I'm sorry, you guys, my eyes are like killing me. They are so itchy right now. Oh, they feel like sandpaper. Do you guys' eyes ever feel like sandpaper? I need eye drops really bad. Anyway, so I'm dealing with some major sensory overload right now, and I know it's just because I'm trying to process everything happened so fast. I didn't have time. I was barely starting to process the fact that my dad had cancer. I went to visit him, had an awesome visit with my father. I came home. I was catching up on the work that I missed from being gone for 7 days, and was just getting caught up with work and coming to grips with understanding that that might have been the last time I got to see my dad alive, and possibly or coming to grips with we if we're lucky, we'll buy a couple more months with my father. And then all of a sudden, I'm driving home from Zayden's doctor's appointment to check on his heart, which that all came out okay, by the way. And I get a frantic call from my mother. My dad can't breathe, and she doesn't know what to do because my dad's, refusing oxygen and everything else. And I told my mom, if he's not getting oxygen to the brain, he can't rationally make decisions, and that's why she has power of attorney, and she needed to call 911. And that's what my mother did. And literally, I was in Lolo, Montana, on my way back home here, which is about a 40 to 35 minute drive. And within that 35 to 40 minutes, my dad was in the emergency room, barely conscious, and there was nothing they could do for him. Now, my mom knows this, but I haven't made it home yet, right? And she is still sitting in the emergency room waiting to see my father. As soon as I got home, that's when I got the news. And I contacted my boss right away. I told my boss what just went down. And she's like, you got to go. I'm really lucky to have a boss like that, by the way. I mean, my job's not perfect, but that was pretty cool that my boss was like, you got to go. And then I had all those problems with the flight, and I'm trying to get to my mother. That's all I could think of was, I need to get to my mother. And then I had all those problems with the flight. And it was like one thing happening after another. And next thing I know, I'm on the phone with my husband, and I'm having a meltdown. Total meltdown in the middle of the airport in front of all kinds of strangers. And basically yelling and telling him, you got to get me to Texas. I can't get out of Missoula. All the flights are canceled. They're going to be canceled again tomorrow. This fog ain't lifting. And I got to get to my mother. And next thing you know, as all of you know, we drove literally through the night. I got there at 9 p.m., y'all. My daddy's funeral was at 9 in the morning the very next morning. Talk about having no time to process as a neurotypical person. Can you imagine what's going on in this messed up head of mine? My scrambled brain that I have with the neurons not connecting like they're firing like they're supposed to. Like, it caused a chemical imbalance in my whole body. And I was on crisis mode. And, you know, I didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted to because we had to drive. And so, even on the way back home, I mean, we didn't have as many issues. You know, we had the one hiccup in Cheyenne with the, you know, the crazy weather that Dana's Wanderlust Crochet helped us out with, as far as rerouting us to get us to a place, at least a city that had a decent hotel. Anyway, and we had told her, yeah, the roads are like closed down. Where are you at? Because we knew she was in that same state that we were, and we knew she was going to be going through, she was driving the same route we were, but we didn't know where on the route she was at. And she was at the visitor center. I didn't know that. I could have totally went and saw her and said hello if I had known she was at the visitor center, but I didn't know. And I don't know where the visitor center is. But we get home, and I'm doing the same thing, catching up with work all the, you know, work that I missed, and getting Zayden back to school and trying to get our day back to normal as possible. And I think I mentioned on a post in one of my videos that I didn't feel like I had even any time to even be sad or grieve. And I think I am sad. I think that's the word, a good word for it. But I feel like it's almost like an outer body experience where I see the reality here, but I'm like over here, and I'm just going through the motions. You know, just doing what I'm supposed to do every day and what's expected. You know, and I had messaged my friend Liz, who goes to our church, and I told her that I didn't feel like going to church. I've had insomnia again for another week, and I'm tired, but that I was awake and I was up, and I showered. Did I tell her I was showered? No, I don't think I told her that. I just told her I was awake and I was up, and that we were coming to church today. So she would know kind of what state I was in. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to go to church because I didn't want to see the people's sorry look on their faces, and I didn't feel like hugging people, and I didn't want to talk about it. But I did well. I'm proud of myself. I knew the hugs were going to come, and so I was able to prepare my brain and my body for that. And of course, there were questions like, "How's your mother? How are you holding up?" and, you know, things like that. And, so it wasn't too bad. I handled it quite well. But I am really tired. I'm tired because even though those interactions were only just a minute with each person, it left me feeling very drained. And I know it's because I'm grieving. And one of the things that Orion said in his video was how each autistic person grieves differently. Well, that makes sense because each human being, whether you're autistic or not, are going to grieve differently. So that made sense to me. And then he talked about just some things that some autistic people may do when they lose something or someone that's important to them. And I saw a lot of myself in a lot of his comments. One of them was your stems being a little worse than normal. One of them being insomnia, not being able to sleep. Another one of them being wanting to isolate and not be around people. Or having more frequent meltdowns over things that are just really not that important. And I'm having those. I'm seeing those. And so, that video helped a lot. It really did. It helped me kind of figure out what's going on with me and what's going on in my head. And he said that some of these traits that we have can be intensified because we're having all these emotions and feelings, and we don't know how to articulate that stuff, and we don't know how to process intense emotions like that. And so it comes out in other ways, and it all made so much sense to me. So I was so thankful that he did that video, because it helped me a lot. So now, like today's a bad day for me. I'm having a bad day. And I know it's because I had to answer questions at church. And I'm having to face the grieving, and I don't want to face it. I'd rather just bottle it up and put it in a box and shut it tight and not open it. But that's not healthy. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, so I think I'm going to start journaling. Who was it that I was watching that said she journaled? It was another autistic creator. Oh, who was it? It wasn't Claire from Woodshed Theory, and it wasn't Gemma. Although Gemma, she wrote poetry. She writes poetry to help her. She lost her grandmother. Literally, the day of my dad's funeral, her grandmother died. How crazy is that? And she writes a lot of poetry. And she talked about grief too, and I watched her video on grief because it also helped me. And so yeah, I think journaling is going to help me, because I think if I journal, it can kind of give me a safe place to put down on paper what I think I might be feeling, and maybe it'll help me get kind of a grip around everything that has happened, how fast it happened, and it will help me not just process my emotions and figure out, okay, what is all this? What do I do with all these? See, that's part of my problem. I don't know what to do with all these emotions I have pent up. I don't know what to do with them, which is why I feel lost, because I'm not used to feeling this much intensity. And so, and then I have worries too. Like I'm constantly worrying about my mother. My mother's a strong person, but she's my mother. And so I'm worried about my mother. Speaking of, as soon as I get off this video, I'm going to be calling my mother. So I think journaling is going to help me. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think Sharon Loves Purple is the one that told me about journaling, that it might help. I think it was Sharon that Loves Purple that might have told me that. She also told me I need to seek out a grief group. And I think she's right. I don't know if I can do it though, because that means I already have a hard time going to church with people that I actually know. Can you imagine me going somewhere with people that I don't know at all? I don't know about that, but I am going to look into that and see if there's a grief group here in town close. Because not getting my text messages from my father every day has kind of messed me up in the head a little bit. I have all of the text messages that he has sent me over the last several months. And I want to find a way to get them off my phone and save them. I think that might help me. So I'm not scared that I'm going to lose all that data from my dad. And maybe save it on those little zip drivey things that you can put into your computer. Maybe I can save them on something like that. And when I'm missing my dad, I can just put it in the Chromebook and read all of his messages, maybe. So I just need to figure out, I need a techie person who can tell me if that's even something that I can do. I know I can probably that's another thing I could do. I could probably screenshot all the text messages and then email them to myself and then download them on my Chromebook and then put them on a zip drive. So if my Chromebook, dies on me, I still have it on the Chromebook. And then I know I had said in my live a couple weeks ago that I wanted to do celebration of life video in honor of my father. I haven't even been in my, I haven't even pulled out the box of many, many, many photos in my closet. I have pictures of my father and my 2 daughters when they were very little. I have a picture of my dad holding little man when he was first born. I have a bunch of those kind of pictures, and I have pictures in another photo album of me when I was a little girl with my father, more than what I had already showed. And I would like to put a video together. I'm just not ready to do that yet. Because that means I have to look at pictures. Just the thought of that is very intense. And I don't know what to do with the intensifying feelings that I have about that. So I think that's going to have to wait for now. I'll know when the time is right, when I can handle it. I don't think I can handle it right now. So that, and I need to make sure that I don't have that on the videos. Underneath the title, there's like these 3 little dots that you can click on, and it gives you like a little mini menu, like download this video. If you're one of those channels that allow people to download your videos, you'll see the download option. You'll see report this video option, because that's on everything. And then there's also this little heart with the thanks that says thanks, and you click on that, and then you can do, it's like a super chat or a super sticker, and you click on it and you can send money to that person's channel for that's attached to that video. Amaro did that on one of my videos. And I didn't even know I had that I didn't even know that was even there. I don't know how to turn that off. I don't want anyone sending any money to me from that video. It's just a video of my love for my father and celebrating my father. That's it. I don't want anything from anybody. I just want to share my memories of my father. I don't know if that makes any sense. So like towards the end of the video, you're not going to see thanks for watching. You're not going to see subscribe to my channel. You're not going to see any of that mess. Any of that normal creator stuff. It's not mess. I'm sorry. You're not going to see that on my video. It's strictly going to be all about my father. And that's it. So until I can figure that out, I don't want to, if I upload the video, it's definitely going to remain on private until I figure that piece out. So yeah, so that is still coming. I think it would be a healthy thing for me to do. I want to, my father was one of my, oh my gosh, my father was one of my biggest cheerleaders when it comes to I had no idea that my father was watching my videos on my channel, you guys. I knew my mom was watching my lives. I had no idea. But my Uncle Vincent told me that every single day my dad was watching, my old devotion videos that I used to do? My dad was watching those. My dad was watching my autism videos, educational videos. He watched every single one of them, apparently. He watched every single one of my devotional videos, apparently. He constantly watched my videos of my crochet and what I was doing with my crochet. I had no idea because he never commented on anything. Nothing. I had no idea. Yeah. Blew my mind. I had no clue. So I think the video will help me articulate how much he meant to me. Yeah, I think so. My nose is bothering me. Do I have a tissue? Hang on one second, you guys. Sorry about that. I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me blow my nose. That's kind of gross. Anyway, so I think that'll be really good for me to help me articulate how much my father meant to me. And my friend Liz this morning, when she texted me back, she's like, I had no idea that you were going through this because you seem so strong about everything. Well, it's not that I'm a strong person. Like Tank has told me several times, you're going to be okay. You're a strong person. I know I'm a strong person, but the reason why no one really knew what was going on with me except for a very, 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 very small selective few people is because I didn't know what was going on with me myself. So how am I going to tell you what's going on with me if I don't even understand what's going on with me? So, I'm just walking around feeling lost, just going through the motions. I don't know what to do with that. So, anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm trying to get some of my stems under control. And when I say my stems, I'm talking like my unhealthy ones. I have a few unhealthy ones that are showing up, that haven't shown up in a long time. And Orion was saying that those show up because the autistic person is under severe stress with no outlet to get that stress out and articulate and be able to say, this is what's going on with me. I need help. And so some of those unhealthy stems tend to be more prominent kind of situations. So it totally makes sense. So it really helped me out a lot. It really did. So I just wanted to share this with you because I have a lot of people that are late diagnosed autistics like myself. I was very late diagnosed. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 43. I went through a severe identity crisis because I masked all my life. And Orion also said that that's another autistic trait that can intensify. You mask so you seem like you're okay around other people. And that yeah. So I have to be careful with that because it took me a lot and time and effort to figure out who Nisi was and be okay with who I am. And it's okay to be the free spirit that I am. And I am, you guys. I'm a free spirit. Like I hang out, like let's take YouTube streets. I hang out all over the YouTube streets. I'm not just in the crochet and yarning community. I love visiting gardening channels and talking to those people. I like talking to some of my YouTube friends, my YouTube friends, I guess you could say, my YouTube acquaintances that are homesteaders. I have, I have Joy Joy and Donnie. Joy, we're pretty. She's a late diagnosed, level 1 autistic, probably borderline or maybe even Asperger's. Anyway, her husband paints, and I love to watch Donnie paint, and I love to hear him tell stories and talk. I don't comment a lot when I'm on his live because usually I'm listening while I'm cooking, or I have one earbud in my ear, but I'm really spending time with the hubby, or I'm crocheting. But I love watching him paint. I love watching people create with their hands. A lot of times I'm lurking in Pam from, Be Creative Crafts. She does diamond painting. She crochets. She's painted before. She did a paint by number. I think she was working on that one time. And then there's Nancy from Little Treasures. I love lurking in her lives. I love watching what she does all kinds of things. She does miniatures, shadow boxes. She does paper crafts. She does crochet. She does, what do you call it? It's like scrapbooking, but it's not a scrapbook. It's like where she decorates notebooks and stuff like that. She makes planners, paper crafts. You know what I mean? Like, she does all kinds of stuff. And so I like watching people create with their hands. It's one of my special interests, I guess. I find it visually calming to watch someone create with their hands. I love watching Spring spin. I like watching her feet do this, and I like watching her wheels spin. I find it calming just to watch her spin. So I'm all over the place, you guys. I'm not one of those people that just hang with one little group of people. I've never been that way. Even in high school, I was not like that. Even in high school, I had friends in all these different social little cliques. You know what I mean? I just floated around in my own little bubble and visited different little social groups, So, and it's still true today. And I'm okay with that because I get to observe a lot of interesting people, and I get to observe different perspectives, and I get to observe different social etiquettes and talents and gifts. And I like that. So I'm all over the place, which makes sense because I have an ADHD and autistic brain that's all over the place. So why wouldn't my social life be all over the place? Makes sense to me. So yeah, and so this whole grieving, when I lost my Gigi, it was different because she was old. I knew it was coming. Like, she was 80, you guys. Like, she was 80. You know what I mean? Like, and I was ready for that because I knew she was old, and I knew she was probably ready to go because, a lot of her, she just was old and she just hurt all the time. And she had all these medical conditions that just made her life difficult. And so you would think I would think the same way about my father, but with my father, I didn't have time to process any of it. It happened so freaking fast. So I didn't have time to kind of explore how I'm going to feel when my dad dies. You know what I mean? Like, I was just getting to that point where I could start that process, and then he was gone. What do you do with that? I don't know. I've been walking around the last several weeks lost because I don't know what to do with that. And one second I'm fine, and the next second I'm feeling all these intense emotions. that I can't even put a name on what the, like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I just know I'm feeling very intense emotions. But I don't know, okay, what kind of emotion is this? Is this sadness? Am I angry? Am I pissed? Am I sad? Am I depressed? Am I, like, I can't figure it out because I don't know. I guess my brain is not processing correctly right now. So my husband has been really great, you guys. He has been so great. He's been helping me with the chores because one day I'm fine, I can get a lot done. Next day, I'm totally burnt out and I'm basically in what they call shutdown mode, burnout mode. And I completely just, like, my brain, my executive functioning ability is out of order and I've completely shut down and I can't do anything but sit. I mean, I've had days over the last 2 weeks where it was so bad I didn't even crochet and pick up my crochet hook, you guys. Like, when I say my body and my brain completely shut down, I am not kidding. Like, do not pass go, do not collect $200, lights out, Nieces, leave a message. Beep. So this video is super long. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I don't know if any of this has helped you guys, but I just wanted to share what I'm going through from an autistic perspective of losing someone very important to me. I'm sure there's others even who are neurotypical that feel lost when they lose someone unexpectedly that quick. I'm sure this is not just an autism issue. I'm sure this is a across the board human race issue.
Can I
anyway,
please?
Yes, you may. Thank you for asking. Hang on a
I
second, you guys.
Oh, no.
It's real life here, you guys. That was my son wanting something. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope that this video has helped somebody out there in YouTube land. Know that you're not alone. If you're going through something similar that I'm going through, you're not alone. What I've been told by several people that what I'm going through is very normal, and that there's all these different stages of grief apparently. So if you feel lost, that's normal. It's normal to feel lost in a situation like this, and allowing yourself to feel feelings can be very, very, very scary. And for an autistic person who's also an empath that has very strong emotions about everything, it can definitely be scary. But just know that it's going to be okay. Give yourself time and grace and mercy. And if you have to process slowly, then process slowly. No one can tell you how to grieve. No one can tell you that, well, you're not normal because you're not crying like you should. Why are you not crying? Not everybody cries when they're expected to cry. Okay? Everybody goes through their own process, basically, is my understanding. From the video that I watched from Orion, from talking to Sharon Loves Purple, from talking to Tank. I had a nice long discussion with Spring, the fiber enthusiast, Dawn Aaron, from talking to her, and I've talked to a couple of other people that have been through loss. So those conversations definitely helped me a lot. And watching the videos from different creators has helped me a lot, like Orion and Gemma's Journey Grace, and Mama on, is it Mama on the Spectrum? Is that who it was, the video that I watched? I'll do my research. And if that's who the channel is, I'll list the channels in the description. So if you want to go check out their videos, you can. So you guys, I hope that this video finds you well. And I will see you on these YouTube streets, God willing, because we're never promised tomorrow. And just remember to love each other and make sure that even just not just your family members in your house and your friends that you see and your co-workers, check in on them every once in a while. I watched Ivy's video today that she posted a while back. She got a gift from Amy that was delivered to her after Amy had passed. It was a very raw video. I put it on my community tab. I strongly recommend watching the video because her message at the very end was very important. And that is, even in these YouTube streets, if you noticed you haven't seen someone who comes to your lives on a regular basis in a long time, or you haven't seen one of your YouTube creators that you're used to seeing and they haven't posted something in a long time, if you're close enough to them and you know how you have a way to reach out to them. Just be like, hey, you're on my mind. I haven't seen you around. Are you okay? Are you well? Is your family well? Just know you're loved and I'm thinking about you and I'm here. Just reach out and just check up on them if you have that ability. If you don't have that ability, it's okay to ask around, be like, hey, do you have access to this person? Do you know if this person's okay? It's okay to ask questions, you guys. Ask them. So thank you, Ivy, for your video and sharing that raw moment, because I don't know why I didn't see that video on your channel before. Because I've seen on your other videos, but I didn't see that one. I don't know why, but I saw it this morning and I don't think it was by accident. I think it was on purpose. And so thank you for that video, and thank you for sharing that very raw, very vulnerable moment in your life. So you guys have a wonderful week. It's Sunday. It's a brand new week. And I will see you guys around the YouTube streets, hopefully. And always remember, dare to be you, dare to be different. And know that I love you. Love from Montana. Kisses and hugs. Bye, everyone.